got your two newest boxes. We have the TiVo Stream and the TiVo Remote. Can you talk a little bit about how these are changing? You guys have been changing when we watch TV.
Right.
What do these do? What is it the next?
So both are around how you want TV and where you want to watch TV. So
Well, they can't hear you, but they can hear me. The TiVo is changing.
I'll speak for us.
You're really close to me.
Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah, you got it. So let's talk to both. The TiVo Mini. Here, I'll take that one. The TiVo Mini we actually just launched in retail last week. It's about taking the TiVo experience to another TV in your house. So it basically replicates the TiVo experience from the main TiVo DVR and brings it to another room. But it uses the tuners and the hard drive, and it basically takes all the things and just makes it available in another room within the house. So it's an extender. It's basically a home extender to a TV. So it's going to be a TV. The TiVo Stream is different in that it attaches to your home network and it redistributes your TiVo recordings and your TiVo content to mobile devices within the home. So it basically makes your iPad another TV. These are both about, as you mentioned, Richard, we've been focusing a lot about time shifting and making the TV when you want to have it. Now it's about where you want to have it, which I think is the thing we're going to talk about quite a bit today.
And I believe we should eventually have code from Boxy as well. They've changed a lot about where we watch TV, where we get our sources. That's something TiVo does too. Can you talk a little bit about the apps that you guys have created and where we're getting internet TV now? Because you don't just do cable, you don't just do over the internet.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of this. I think when the other guests come out, we'll talk about that quite a bit. More and more over the last 6 years-ish, you see content sources from content from a lot of different sources. So we started 6 years ago by integrating Amazon, and that's how it was called, Amazon Video on Demand, now called Amazon Streaming, into the TiVo box and combining with your cable experience. So getting all your cable channels, getting things from Amazon, getting things from Netflix. More and more, you're seeing a lot more content from other sources. A lot of, and I think we'll get into this a little bit more. A lot of what you'll see is about you really want to exclude any of those sources. You want to be able to get your content no matter where it comes from, all in one place.
Excellent. And here we have call for something like great to have back. Thanks for joining us at Expand. Anyone who's watching, anyone in the crowd, if you have any questions for our guests, please tweet us at Expand Access or #TV. And we'll go ahead and get those and ask them about the products and how they're changing the way we watch TV in the future. And that's something Boxy has been all about. We've changed formats, changed sources, and now with Boxy TV, we've gotten a little bit more traditional. Let's start having a discussion about where we can go in the future. Can you tell us a little bit about that change in Boxy from where you were when you first used to get on?
I'll be back in a few.
And what you have now with Boxy TV?
Yeah, so for us, the grand vision never changed. When we started the company 5 years ago, we really wanted to kind of reimagine and recreate the experience of TV for what we thought our generation of our should be. And even though we started from a piece of software and then we turned into a device that did a lot of things that people were very excited about, and mainly trying to bring together internet and home media. What we saw is that we're still lacking to bring those live events. And all of those live shows that happen on TV in broadcast. And when we looked at it a little more, we started playing around with it. A year and a half ago, we released the Boxy Live TV, which was an addition to the previous box. And suddenly we saw that there's so much content still in regular broadcast coming over the air for free for everyone in HD quality. And we said, there's really something that can be done here. And our new device, the Boxy TV, that was released in November, was the way that we tried to reimagine it. So you can think about it a little bit, and it's interesting because this panel is a little bit kind of composing all of that together. So when we need to describe it in a sentence, it's a Sling, a TiVo, and an Apple TV in one device. So what happens is you have a digital antenna where you can get over-the-air signals, so you can get ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, PBS, INN, CW, and a bunch of other channels, so about 25 to 50 channels, depends on where you are. In HD quality, you'll be able to watch them live, but you'll also be able to record them. And what we developed is the first ever cloud DVR. So when you record them, it records into the cloud, and you can watch it on any device, so either on your TV, but also on your iPad, on your laptop, on your iPhone, when you're in the house, or when you're outside of the house. And so you can watch the recorded shows, but you can also tune into live TV. So if you're, for instance, here now, I live in New York, I want to tune into maybe a March Madness game that's now on and it's playing in New York on a local channel. I can tune into that and watch it on my device from here. And then in addition, obviously, you have Netflix and Vudu and a bunch of other of the apps that we all use and like.
Excellent. Now, both of you have products that blend not only live TV, also internet sources, recorded TV, and the cloud DVR functions in the new boxing. How do you feel consumers are asking, or how can they respond to products that have this blend of content? Are they getting used to the new world where you can get video from so many different places?
I think part of that depends on how it's presented, but I think for the most part, consumers expect to be able to get content, no matter what the source is. More and more, even the industry players are embracing that model. Whereas I think if you looked at this 3 years ago, you would have had maybe the pay TV operators thinking that I want only my content or only content from my sources, and other people saying I want to have just explicit over the top or I want explicit over the air. I think more and more the model is each of the players is going to embrace content no matter what the source is. And it's a matter of just prioritization, but it's a matter of blending all these things into one. Because you see different types of content coming from different sources, right? What was traditionally internet content, we call it traditionally. Internet content is come up, the quality of the production has come up, the market has expanded greatly. So I think consumers are getting used to a much wider variety of content in their daily lives.
Is that something you guys are seeing as well? I know, especially with boxing, because you do local content, been so focused on the internet from the beginning. Is that something that you've seen that customers asked for when you came out with the first box and now with the second?
Yeah, I think that's what we always try to look at in the way we kind of approach it is how can we help the consumer on one hand get all of this content at once, and on the other really lower the cost of what he's paying. So I think that in some cases people will have to make some kind of sacrifice. Some content that they'll be interested in is not going to be accessible, but then on the other hand, when you start blending both of these worlds and creating ubiquitous access to all of it, either at home or on devices, that's when it starts getting interesting.
Now, talking about access on different devices, that's again something that both of you are very deeply involved in. We just talked about, especially with TiVo Mini, bringing content to other screens, another function of the boxing TV that you can watch it, not only wherever you want, but on whatever screen you want. Can you talk a little bit about bringing it to mobile? You got your mobile apps, specifically when it comes to watching video and bringing a TV experience to a mobile device.
Yeah, so if you think about mobile, I think you should think about mobile. We'll talk about a tablet initially. There are a few different functions that it provides. One, it can complement your TV experience. So as you're watching video or whatever you're watching on TV, you can create a second screen experience. That's what the TiVo app started out as. So the TiVo app started out as a control system. So it's basically a way to bring parts of the UI to the tablet, so you can see your My Shows list, so you can see all your recordings, you can control the TV, you can get a lot of the discovery tools, so all the search and browse tools, all this content discovery tools were there. And then for a given show, it would show you information about the show, so actor, director, other things you might like, and taking a piece of that and putting it into a tablet. I think the second phase you're starting to see now is taking and making the tablet or the phone itself the video consumption device. So TiVo Stream does that for us in bringing all your recordings and making them available on your tablet. And that is slightly different, right? The purpose is different. The other thing that you can do with Stream is take things on the road with you. So it'll actually download, it'll transcode and then download the content on the tablet itself or on the phone itself. And then you can have access to an independent network. That's pretty much the plane use, right? When you're on a plane, that's how you need to get to it. So I think think the other thing is when you start to have video available on all these devices, it starts to be the TV. It's effectively a personal TV device. And something we did with Virgin Media in the UK is they have a lot of live TV. They start out with 35, and they're up to something in the area of 45 now. They have live TV streams going all the time, delivered via IP. So now, in addition, and the guide, in addition to being able to control your TV, you can choose any one of these and just watch them live on the tablet within the same app. And for us, a big theme for us is about blending the TV experience, the mobile experience, and the multi-format experience all